much. Good morning, everyone. Martin Mtembe, Strathmore University, country coordinator for the CCG program. Proud to say you are the first country to start the program, but the dime in terms of trying anything and all the concepts from working with government, academia, and also industry. So as you look at that first slide, what you realize, the first photo is about the community of practice that we work with, government, academia, and industry people. And it's composed of around 131 participants. This one is in the last annual workshop we had 3 weeks ago. And this community of practice over the 5 years you've been in existence has been able to develop quite key documents that are going to talk about the future. So if people were to ask how does the Kenya future look like, it is going to be guided by these key documents. So we have the one very political, number 7, which is looking at the midterm plan 4, done by the least cost power development planning team. Like Jairo said, and vulnerability is captured in that one. We have the LCPDP strategic document 2024-2043 that looks at how do we do our electricity and power planning between 2024 and 2043. Very long term, and actually work with Abi and the team when you are starting in CCG to look at the different scenarios, the Kenya power system model using OseMOSyS. Then you went to the whole energy system model, still on OseMOSyS, plus the RENAFLEX to look at the variability in terms of the energy systems. Then we went further to develop the Kenya National E-Cooking strategy, which was informed by what we had developed earlier, the OseMOSyS tool. And then we went further to look at the integrated aspect, because Kenyan Constitution 2010 looks at devolution, whereby 47 governments, sub-national governments, feeding into the national conversation. So what does that translate to? Integration. So currently, Strathmore University, we have developed 2 county energy plans that have developed the energy prospectus for investment for each county, the sub-national 47 counties, which we look at in the next 2-3 years. As per government directive, we shall be having an integrated national energy plan that does not only look at the national aspects of energy and data sets, but also looks at data that comes all the way from the ward level, the village level. So the insights from the village level all the way to the national level will be part of the integrated national energy plan. Then we have the national electric mobility policy, which we have contributed to. It was launched in January. And right now, in about 3 weeks, the president will be launching the National Energy and Petroleum Policy 2026. This one is going to direct the Energy Act 2027, which we are hoping to be part of the development. So the community of practice not only looks at models, it also looks at how do we have these models translate to impact. And not just impact in the investments now, but discussions beyond now, because all these policies will be reviewed in the next 7 years. So in 7 years, that's how much impact we shall see as we go across. To ensure sustainability, so Strathmore University was tasked to look at a concept called the Flatpack. So we started to think about Flatpack with Jairo, Rudolph, and another CCG team members. And we said, so we looked at how do you create sustainability, because the teams are being taken away by, could say, well-managed organizations. And the best route was to go through an institution like Strathmore University. And to embed the trainings that we had, we did a mapping. We had like 5 courses that are directly linked to the CCG tools, which you can share, as you can see in the slides. And this one was very seriously taken by the university to the point of the vice-chancellor went to the UK Imperial College and had a handshake with Professor Mark Howells, and it was formalized. And this made it easier for us to now offer the courses in the main Masters in Sustainable Energy Transitions without redesigning the course, but just adopting it in the concept of what we call linking academia with industry, LIWA. It's a very good principle that we practice in Strathmore, especially when you have something good, but the legal and the formal processes become a challenge. So we use another trick called LIWA, and that's how we are able to put the different tools, frameworks that CCG has taken to class, and this class feeds into the national conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin, for sticking to time. Let me now, and I'm formulating a couple of questions, but we will also open a space for questions from the audience because there may be some general questions. But let me call on Samba from University of Sierra Leone to tell us a little bit how the experience in Sierra Leone had been also working with the government there. So over to Samba.
Thank you. Good morning. I am Samba Sissé from the University of Sierra Leone. And my presentation, I'm going to highlight our journey with CCG tools and how it has helped us transform the education, the policy, and our research in Sierra Leone. Okay, sorry. First of all, we want to ask, why did we enter this Flatpack program, and what is our baseline, and what were our gaps? So I want to say, before 2019, most of government policies were not backed with evidence-based results, like modeling results. So actually, they actually lack, or they make it difficult for them to attract donor funds. So we observe also that there were a lack of modeling capacity within government, within the academia. So there was an urgent need to develop capacity in modeling. So after 2019, then we begin to enter into modeling. So to fast track, in 2024, we joined this Flatpack initiative, and we agreed to implement 3 tools, and this is OseMOSyS, CLEWs, and OseMOSyS. We have already introduced OseMOSyS and CLEWs, and we are building capacity to introduce OseMOSyS. The effect is very positive. Within our institution, our MPhil energy program, we see the enrollment increase. Why? Because most students in that program are working in the energy sector, and our energy sector is using CCG tools. So because we are also training on it, so they come to university to register for this program. That can also be seen in that when students reach their final year, when they are doing their projects and dissertation, they choose projects that are related to CCG tools. Even for us, the staff, it helps us in our supervision of students, and it enhances the quality of our research. And coming to the government, in fact, when we start with these modeling tools, one of our trained staff was taken into the Ministry of Energy to head the planning unit. So that brings the government and the university together so that they invite us when they make policy, like our energy policy, our NDCs, National Determined Coefficient. So all of these, the university, through our knowledge in modeling, contribute to these policies. And even for international cooperation, with the benefit and knowledge we gain in energy modeling tools, we were able to partner with sister institutions. So together we form consortium, we're going for EU-funded projects. And that will be like our big win in that recently we are successful in 2 EU-funded projects. They are climate projects, which deals with modeling pathways towards low carbon, and also climate resilience. We are also successful in climate justice project, which deals with just transition of energy. There are other projects that are in the pipeline. So in the nutshell, you will see that through our Flatpack engagement, it has influenced our education sector, it has influenced our policy, and it has also influenced our international cooperation and collaboration with other entities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So far, we are doing terrific in terms of time. Huh? Let me call on Fitsund from Addis Ababa, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I should be in 3 minutes, otherwise you'll be kicking off my from the podium. So yeah, I'm Fusum from Addis Ababa University. I just want to share this very super quick story that we have been doing on the CCG tools in our university, okay? Yes, so basically the interest on doing these CCG tools integrating in our graduate programs is the need to give, let's say, a very context-relevant modeling exercise in the country, which answers the policy questions that are raised by stakeholders, say the government institutions, and also to capture the actual existing, let's say, data in the region. There is this one incident when I was asked from my supervisor in France, dealing with grid reliability, and I told him that the grid outage was about 32 hours per month and about 28 occurrences of outages. And the grid electricity price was 0.03 dollar cents per kilowatt hour. And he just told me that, oh, so please check these data are really accurate and trustworthy. So he was not able to take the context in the realities that we have in, right? So the other points are, you know, there were the points that we've been discussing. Who owns this? Who manages these models? Who runs these tools to inform policies? And also, you know, proprietary, accessible for long term, or are they upfront costs on investment to buying this license, which are very expensive to afford initially, right? So with this, we want to sustain the knowledge of this modeling and capture the existing context in the country, with anchoring with academic institutions, which is the core function of our duties, right? So here, this is just a short story. We engage PhD students as the main key stakeholders in many of our capacity buildings, in many of our projects. So this will be transferred to the next generation of energy modelers. We have been also working on various modeling tools. Students and faculty from the university have joined the various EAPs, be it in Africa, be it in the global tracks. And then the curricular integration is, you know, this bureaucratic long process of curriculum approval. So we just find the small spot to alter with a limit of 20% threshold without, you know, taking the changes in legislative orders, let's say the rubrics, learning outcomes, etc. So with that, we integrated this CCG tools, particularly the OseMOSyS and the Energy Access Explorer, of course, the latter one with a partnership with WRI. And we started to deliver this course under the modeling and optimization of renewable energy systems. I'll just, for a second, which is a 7 ECTS course in our renewable energy engineering master's course. And with the OseMOSyS and AAE, the implementation was done by faculties that has taken the MP tracks for OseMOSyS, and the WRI from the experts, who basically, just to mention name, Dimitris, who is the lead of the AAE tool, and one of their faculty, their member in Ethiopia from regional office, right? And the big win I could mention is the integration of sustained capacity of those modeling tools in our curricula, and we kind of are feeding the foundation for a pipeline of energy modelers in our programs. And we also have been developing this couple of national tools for Ethiopia, and various partnerships and collaborations, mainly dealing with integrated assessment models and long-term energy system planning models like Pathways, Compact, and Reintegrate. And this, you can follow us on the project activities for the latter one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And before we move on to the next three presenters, I just wanted to do a reflection here, which is really how these Flatpack has enabled at least the 3 first presenters to engage with other initiatives and also with government to support the policy process. So we heard from Fitsun the impact and the reintegrate projects, which are EU Horizon grants that will also continue supporting. And I mean, we heard from Martin the collaboration with Imperial College of London. So it's quite fascinating to see how this is a cascading effect that we can see, at least in the 3 cases. And I just wanted to reflect on that before moving on to the next presentation, which could also highlight other aspects in the upcoming ones. Moving on, I want to invite Felix Amangwa from University of Energy and Natural Resources to present his experience. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much. I recognize that you have been using the same alarm sounds. I don't know whether I might have a different one. Yeah, so my name is Felix Amangwa from the University of Energy and Natural Resources. I don't know how many universities that there are in the world which has a specific mandate on energy. But that is what our university is all about. Now, what we realized yeah, just yeah, I'll soon be there, yeah.
We just over-spoiled a couple of slides, but
yeah.
there you go. I think that's it.
Yeah. So one thing that has always been the problem, and especially also from our side, is that usually we think that we can sit in our corner, develop some models, and then write policy briefs, and then send it to the ministries for them to be able to implement. But then we realized that that really doesn't work. And for things to properly work, what it meant was that proper stakeholder engagement was very necessary, so that the policymakers take ownership of the modeling that is done. So one thing that we realized was that as part of the different research that we do, we realized that to be able to support the government in achieving the clean energy access and food security targets in Ghana, we realized that it is across cutting sectors. And we then realized that if you look at the ministries, they were just working in silos. They all developed their own models. And there are series of gaps within the models that they develop. And one thing that we realized was that building an integrated resource model was very important to be able to also help us to be able to make sure that the kind of decisions that we make backs or based on a very good insight. But one thing that we also recognized was that it is better for them to also have trust in the kind of models that you build. And one thing that we also saw was that looking at open sourced modeling tools was the way to go, because then they realized that it was much more easier in terms of transparency, in terms of auditability. That was also very critical. So in coming to this, what we developed was that we have developed about three different programs. So we have Sustainable Energy Engineering and Management, which is engineering program. We have also the Energy Policy and Sustainability, and then we also have the Energy Economics programs. So what we have done is that we have different courses like CLEWs and Policy, which is a major course that cuts across all the different programs that we have. And then we use the OseMOSyS tool for that. We have the energy systems analysis, design, and optimization, where we are looking at the MIDE and also the OseMOSyS. So we have a number of them. But one thing that we realized was that trying to integrate this into the courses was a bit challenging, because you cannot wake up one day after maybe you have taken some summer break to come and say, colleagues, please, can we switch to these modeling tools? It doesn't work that way. because most of them also have different tools that they've used for quite a long time. So it was a process that we had to also go through to do a lot of upscaling. And also in the areas of trying to see how we can develop a curriculum that tries to solve problems across the different backgrounds, because we realize that the policymakers, they have different backgrounds. Yesterday we had a lawyer that was here today. I don't know how many lawyers that we have in the room, but if we're having different people with different backgrounds, what it meant was that you have to develop curriculum that provide the support for them to be able to do some of these modeling. And as of now, in terms of the kind of works that we have been doing, we've been part of the technical working group that is trying to develop the state of the environment report with the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation to see how we can use this document as a guide for environmental policy planning and then planning. Now here just some highlights of some of the things that we have been able to achieve. So ever since that we started, we have had about, trained about 50 students so far. And then we have also had the opportunity to do a lot of summer schools, 2 summer schools that we have done, and we have trained over 56 people. And then we also have some staff that have also received different kinds of training. So these are also, you can see on the right, a work that has also been done by some of our students using the OseMOSyS tool. Thank you very much. I didn't hear you use a different...
Thank you very much. Yeah. Didn't mean to put a bit of pressure by stepping around. No, excellent, fascinating work that Ghana has also been doing. Yeah, we've been collaborating for some time now, so terrific to see even a publication in Energy Strategy Review. I'm sure I've also seen a couple from other colleagues. Let me call on, this Emilianru. Please correct my pronunciation. Is that right?
Maybe difficult physically.
Emilianru?
Yeah, you're right.
Huh? Okay. From Jimma University in Ethiopia. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, all of you. I will try my presentation within the given time. Basically, at the beginning, we start establishing a center, a renewable energy research development training center in my university, and the focus was energy, power, environment, and women empowerment. Building on that, basically, that there is power reliability problem, and the most of the problem is mainly due to the saturation of distribution systems and also transmission lines. That arises from the planning problem. So what we have to do, at the beginning, I participated with the AMPA in Ghana because it should be, the energy demand should be, first of all, it should be known, then to proceed with the supply side management and everything. Then what we have done, we participated with AMP 25, that's in Addis. There was the first scholar bootcamp there from TCG. We participated as a team of 5, and from that, 2 of my team take on the track of MAD, and 3 of us on OseMOSyS. Then we try to make the integrated energy modeling using MAD and OseMOSyS for the holistic scenario for the Ethiopia. That means the demand will be from MAD there, and supply optimization using the OseMOSyS. Then we didn't stop here. Almost we are completing this research talk. We proceed to why not we capacitate our staffs, and also from the policy sector, and also from the utilities, the companies. So in collaboration with Transforming Energy Access Learning Partnership, CCG and World Bank, we organized the first Ethiopian, the energy modeling platform for Ethiopia in January. So for that, we used 4 tracks, that's MAD, OseMOSyS, onset, and geospatial data management. We deliver, we organize a training for the 30 participants Among them, 7 was from the Ministry of Water and Energy, and 3 from the Ethiopian Electric Utility, and the one is from the Energy Generation Organization, that's EEP. The rest, 18 from our institutes, that's from the academic. So that creates a good interlink with the academia and the university, the government policymakers. Then what we have done, we try to incorporate MAD and OseMOSyS as a Flatpack for Dumba University, and already designed the program as a course. It will be delivered with the MSc program. And also we are trying to make the hub of energy. And finally, what we have tried to do that we want to form a steering committee from the academia and the energy sector in Ethiopia, and also to sustain this energy modeling platform for Ethiopia for the coming years. And we want to collaborate with CCG, Africa Energy Future, and also the World Bank Group for sustainability of this one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What a terrific path and journey. Last but not least, we have Bernard Olunda from Taita Taveta University. Sorry for my pronunciation again.
Good afternoon. I'm going to be very quick, and I'm going to give you a short story about my university, perhaps the youngest amongst all, 9 years of age, and we are located in an ASAL area with the county where we are, 62% of that being a national park. And you can see when you come, we interact very well with the elephants. And now, our journey began in 2022 with an organization from Canada, Catalyst Plus, who brought in SFU, Simon Fraser University, where they are experts from CLEWs. And that made us to attend the EMPA 2023 in Namibia. And after that, we also had we developed a county CLEWs for the Taita Taveta County, where the university is located. In 2024, we had a number of activities. One, we were able to participate in EMPA Ghana, me being one of the co-trainers, and Felix, seated here, was one of my participants in CLEWs. We also organized an EMPK TTU, where we were able to train our staff and students, and we began developing a curriculum for energy, and also embedded CLEWs in one of our programs, MSc Environmental Engineering. Last year, we were able to also organize a training for another university, Kenyatta University, established a center so that we can be able to operate outside of the university mainstream, and also participated as a lead trainer in Ethiopia. And this year, we've also been able to train in South Africa. Last month, we were here. And also in Jima, where he's coming from, one of my teammates was also there. And we are organizing an EMPK to now bring in 4 other universities within Kenya on how we can train them on CLEWs and perhaps MIDE. And then we intend to now get into the government officials for the buy-in of the models that we are building. And we've now trained about 100 overall. This is how our center, we intend to have it, focusing on research and education, national and community projects, and policy development. So we are just starting. It's a year old, and we hope that we can be able to build it up into something so that we can attain sustainable development when we address all these issues. So these are some of the capacity building initiatives that we've had since 2023 until now, adding to about 100 plus the students that have gone, that we have been able to work with. So I would leave you with Margaret Mead Watts, who said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Thank you, and we welcome you to the home of ideas, Kenyan's hidden gem.
What a terrific story. And also, you said we are just starting, but already got 100 people trained. How is it going to be in 5 years, perhaps? Huh? So congratulations to all of you for such a successful journey. And I guess it's been full of challenges. And I'm going to ask just one question, and then we will open space for the audience to ask. And the question that I got like 12 questions, but just going to ask one, which is maybe building that institution. So what was the biggest, just one, the biggest institutional barrier you faced when establishing the unit? And how did you overcome that barrier? If you could reflect to those that are planning to start this journey, what is that potential challenge, and what did you do to overcome that? It's an open question for everybody, actually. Let's start from right to left. And sorry to put you on the spot. You will have more time to think about.
Okay, so just like I indicated in the slides, so the very big challenge was, I think, in two folds. The first one was how to be able to get the other teaching staff and other staff of the department to be on board, because they have also been using different modeling tools for quite a very long time. And then if you wanted them to try to learn different modeling tools, that was a bit of a challenge. And the second one actually was also in terms of looking at the new programs that we had. We were having people with different backgrounds, especially people within the policy space. So you can have people that are lawyers, people that are engineers who want to come and do, for example, energy policy. And since we're also doing the CLEWs, what it meant was that everybody needed to have a background in energy systems. So we needed to make sure that the curriculum was done in such a way that it could be able to address the deficiencies of the kind of people that we're bringing on board. Now, in trying to address the staff, and I think that this is also something that I need to also commend CCG for doing when they provided opportunities for training for staff. So what we did was to get other of the teaching staff to be able to go for some of these trainings, to be able to experience what was really happening. And I think that that experience, whenever they came, they also were able to tell different kind of stories, which was much also received by the other staff. And I think that doing that helped us a lot to be able to address some of these challenges that we have. But in terms of the accreditation, it was not a major hurdle. I think that it was also well received by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, so there was not really much of a challenge because we've already been using different kinds of tools in our system. Yeah.
Thank you. Fitsung, how was it in Addis Ababa?
Yeah, well, the first thing to integrate new, be it the course, be it the curriculum, be it new learning, is this cumbersome long procedure of approval. So it may take like 1 year plus to get approved curriculum, let alone just being let's say, allowed to go ahead even, right? So the first challenge was this, and the second challenge is capacity of instructors to deliver the course and to have, even if we might have experts outside in the industry for those different tools that we intend to integrate, but this needs to be sustainable for a long term. So that's actually the function of universities. So the first thing to do was to capacitate faculties like myself on those typical CCG tools collection, right? And third one was finance to create these teaching modules. So luckily, we have been doing a couple of projects that I mentioned in my slides, so that we were resourcing this for co-creating these learning materials, even before the launch of this CCG Flatpacks back in 2017 or 2018, something like that. And the other barrier that we will be facing from now on, and we've been facing in the past few years, was this is just a foundation to build trust for the policymakers to get political buy-in for our products, right? For the results of the modeling. And second one is, the trust not on the expertise, but rather on the trust on the tools, because usually many national policy making, strategy document makings rely on tools that are brought by external, let's say, consultants. So they might start to question the capability of the new tools that you are introducing. So, there is this, widely known, famous saying by the British statistician, all models are wrong, so they're right, but some of them are useful, which we were trying to make some of the tools useful for our uptake. Yeah, thank you.
Super. Thank you, Vincent. Let's try to stick to maybe one reflection. Martin, I know you're used to it.
It's a restriction, and I beg to be excused so that we get the context of when Flatpack began. We didn't have an idea how to go about it, but we knew it is an avenue for creating sustainability and resources, so that when Abby and the team go back to UK to continue with other projects, we remain with that team that is capable of continuing the same work. So that's how we came to can we offer the courses into universities, whereby we create more resources. And it was a concept that was well received by the university. And the challenge was Strathmore University is private university, and there everything is for money, you pay. And so the first challenge was the management was, how much are you going to charge for this kind of training? And your mind these are free, and according to the way the program runs, we can't charge. So how do you want to be run in the university? So we said that avenue called LIWA, linking industry with academia, was a pathway we utilized to embed now the tools into an existing master's program, so that we don't create an avenue whereby we require more resources to develop a curriculum, more resources for training, so that when we map the courses against the tools, we just get a good buy-in. And they said it was a good way to bring in these experts who have been working with government and already trained into the classroom. So through LIWA, we were able to bring in the Flatpack into Strathmore. So you were able to avoid also the second thing, the long process for getting a curriculum approved through the Commission for University Education. And thirdly, we don't charge until today. The advantage is now the Master in Sustainable Transition is more practical and hands-on, because each student who is in the industry, they are interacting with tools that they use at work and even beyond, some of them becoming consultants, because the MSET is looking at not only creating people can be employed, but also people can have self-employment. That was the first idea behind development of MSET, as per what you are looking at. The second big challenge was, because our private aspect of charging, we looked at if one day someone comes and say we need to first start charging, how do we go about it? And we had a conversation with the CCG management, and we created a budget line called networking budget. And that is how we were able to bring on board Taita Taveta University, a public university. And you can tell the tuition fees at public university is low. So we could get, can hear the good report of how much they are training within a short time, as opposed to how much we have trained within a short time. So you'll also look at my school fees being a bottleneck in terms of charging these fees. How do we make sure that it goes beyond these environments? So it's by partnership with public universities like Taita Taveta University. And last year we said we get one more. And the one more was Kenyatta University, who were trained by Taita Taveta University. So we are looking beyond these private challenges that are there, which are good. What else can we do so that we impact even more? And finally, I could say it has challenged our thinking in terms of beyond Kenya. Now that it's like you have created another pipeline of training. In the region, we are already being asked, like in the South Africa community, through Parliament, Senate, and the legislature, can you train our researchers to be at par with the government leads? Because government are very technocrat, they'll do the analysis, display very good graphics, but in policy, writing, development, translation, we need to understand what they're saying. So we got a request whereby now Flatpack will be going to the parliamentary staff who are in charge of research in energy and economics, and who knows, so good challenges, but they make us to think even beyond. Thank you.
Oh, that's terrific to hear. To be quite sincere, so that we could follow up on that, but we are running a little bit out of time. So Samba.
Yeah, I think for us, the story is the same. Long approval processes for modules in curriculum, and even when we were given the okay to go and develop a module into the curriculum, they just give us the terminology, energy and integrated resource modeling. So they expect us within a semester, within that time frame, to teach two tools, like OseMOSyS and CLEWs. Who knows, like CLEWs, it has the energy, the climate, the water, the land. Definitely for 6 weeks, 2 hours a week, it is not feasible to teach all that. So we add that constraint. So what we normally do, we try to introduce some of these teaching of the tools as practical aspects of other modules. And after we educate some of our authorities, get them involved, now they have proved for like CLEWs, we have 15 weeks, so we should make things better. And we also, as I told you initially, we had a gap of capacity, but some of our staff are now training. In fact, we have not yet introduced onset because we want to strengthen capacity before we start to teach. So the process is like that: staff trained, develop curriculum, and then try to integrate. So with that, what has helped again is that some of these projects that we won, so within the project itself, we train training of trainers, build our own local community of experts that are exchanging ideas in these tools. Over.
Thank you, Samba. How has it been in Ethiopia from your perspective as well?
Okay, thank you very much. The main challenge the one is already raised by, reflected by Filson. When you come up with the one which is not addressed, the one is lack of collaboration with the energy sector there, and that makes basically when we make it practical, because we are working on the research part also, not only the Flatpack. There is a data unavailability problem, and it's a fragmented data there, and that makes it too difficult the practical aspects of the simulations for these tools, because for the MS students and also at the final for the test work, it needs a good data to produce policy insights, basically for the decision-making aspect. For that case, data unavailability is a big problem. That comes basically due to the lack of strong collaboration with the energy sectors there, and that makes basically the scenarios or the scenario development too much uncertainties will be affected that way. So I think this is the biggest one from our challenge. Thank you.
Bernard, no pressure, but we are just delaying lunch, so no pressure on you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think for TTU, one of the challenges has been the expertise, but we were fortunate enough to have Takoniet, who is from SFU. He's been able to support us ever since 2022, including even hosting some of my team over there. The other issue has been finance. It happened that the program that we were embedding, the Flatpack, was under another project, and I was a member of that project. So I told them, we are enhancing your MSc program, and therefore you need to fund A, B, C, and that was a bit easy. And also CCG Kenya has been supporting this, supporting our activities. And then the other issue has been the lengthy approval process for our program. It began in 2024, and now it is with the commission. But for me, it wasn't a bit so difficult because I was then the dean of the school, so having most of these approvals taking place was a bit easier for me because at least you are close to power. You're able to convince or maybe make some progress. So it was a bit easier. That's why we've been able to make a lot of progress within a very short time. But since I retired, that's why I had to prepare a landing place. That's why we have the ASEC, the Africa Climate Smart and Energy Center now, where we operate as a retired dean. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bernard. And we are running a little bit behind the schedule. So I think we're going to wrap up here, but they will remain in the space. So we could follow up during lunch with the different experiences in countries. And I just wanted to... Are we closing? Okay. Yes. Well, there will be only one person that will answer.
Thank you. Since you all mentioned Dawit, I'm Dawit. I'm also from Addis Ababa University. Since you almost all mentioned regarding the challenge of this curriculum change, curriculum development, approving curriculums, I was thinking of a different option, a different alternative. Why not go for this continuous development, continuous professional development programs where you give training, short-term trainings or these lifelong trainings instead of trying to change, instead of trying to integrate those new modeling tools into teaching or into courses, why not provide these continuous professional development programs where you provide short-term courses for industries, for students, for researchers, and also integrate those tools in research. Whenever they do thesis, whenever they do course projects, they can use those tools. Because there are a list of modeling tools, right? It's not only from CCG, there are a list of modeling tools that can be applicable, and it may be difficult to integrate those tools into those courses, which are limited. So,
I was going to say there will be a discussion tomorrow that I guess answers that question, but I think we are not talking about competing programs. Actually, I think they are complementary. As I said at the beginning, if we don't start building this capacity in the next generations, then it may be the case, and I'm probably one of those examples. I used to be in Costa Rica, and we developed an amazing team in Costa Rica, but I moved to the UK. If I wouldn't have built that local team, the local team in Costa Rica wouldn't be able to support the decision-making process in Costa Rica anymore because I am now based in the UK. But fortunately, I was building that team in Costa Rica, and the government still has a team based at the university that is supporting the process. So I guess that continuous development within the university and next generations as well. You know, utilities are also gathering those students. And sorry, I didn't give the space to the colleagues. We could answer during lunch. I think we're going to have time during lunch, but I really wanted to reflect on something that I think is super important for me. I think we have heard from the different champions that it is not simple, it's not easy, but when there is willingness. Sorry?
There are two pathways.
Yeah, if we could.
Academia and professional, so they're complementary.
Exactly, that's what I was saying.
That the focus now is on the academic level.
Exactly. Tomorrow we will be reflecting on other aspects, but as I said, they are not competing. I mean, I have also developed professional careers for already people working in the industry, but the focus also is slightly different because they don't have time. But anyways, the last thing that I wanted to reflect is, And I can see the pressure. You see he's applying the same approach. Last thing I'm going to say, I think we have heard it is not simple, but when there is willingness, it is possible. And more importantly, I think we are not only building tools, but we are building human resources in our countries. And that is, for me, very, very important. So all of you are to be congratulated for such an amazing journey, for taking that challenge. And obviously, we are here to support the pathway ahead in your institution. So please join me with a big applause to our colleagues.